Hey folks, today is March the 5th. It is currently 10 a.m. in the morning. We're going to look at doing our Promax Gold EA. It's going to be week number 3 update with the trailing stop settings. If you recall, last week we did 1.75%, and the week before that we did 0.68%. I know quite a few people had issues this week, so let's go ahead now and jump in and see how our account did. All right, so at present we are up 138.6% overall, and it looks like this week we were able to earn 3.33% or $384. For the month of February, we closed out that month with 16.3%. And yep, that is actually our largest month since we started testing the Promax EA. We're already up 2.95% for the month of March, and that is from only 4 days of trading. So March is definitely starting out strong, which is always good to see. One difference that might be happening, obviously, is that I'm on a different broker than quite a few people that are using the Promax EA. This is also a SIM account as well. So we'll see exactly how other people were able to do this week. We have a few, like I said, demo accounts and a few live accounts here. So we'll take a look at those. But first, I wanted you guys to see what people had to say here. Let me pull this up like this. All right, so as we can see, the XAU USD on Thursday had massive moves in price in both directions. So depending on where Promax entered the market was why some got accounts blown and others did not. Best to set equity stop you're comfortable with. I think the pip step on the settings is way too low at only 45. Definitely good advice here from Alex. All right, for me this week, I made 3.98% and had one trade open. This is impressive as I switched the EA off for most of Thursday because of the invasion of Ukraine. All right, do you use Victor settings with or without trailing stop? All right, I use Victor settings without the trailing stop. All right, 3 of my accounts also got blown with different settings and all with trailing stop losses. 2 accounts had correct risk management depending on the deposit amount. 1 had higher risk. All right, firstly, EA sold at the bottom of a swing around 1890, and the rest happened on the day of the invasion of Ukraine, where gold just took off without retracement. So this situation with Russia and Ukraine, it really hit quite a few people. And I know that in the vendors Telegram channel, they did mention that their subscribers should turn off their EA. So those of you that decided to heed that advice, most likely were able to avoid these situations. Myself, like I said, I'm on a demo account, so I didn't see a need to go ahead and turn it off. I decided to go ahead and just let it run so that we can see how the market would react in these turbulent times, or not the market, but how the EA would react in these turbulent times. And obviously, those of you that had trades with Promax that went in the right direction of the spikes did well, and those of you that had trades open with Promax that didn't have trades in the direction of the spike obviously got hit hard by that. So it might be a good idea in the future to just turn the EAs off when we can see heavy volatility incoming, like we did with the situation. And as the vendor did warn us about this, so that might be a good idea going forward here. Let's see here. I have an account with half of the risk settings recommended. Normally it's 0.01 per 1K, but you can go safer with 0.01 per 2K. All right, I know they were test accounts made exactly for the purpose of testing the recommended settings. All right, regarding my first demo account, this is Khalid here. As you can see, Khalid has 2 accounts here. All right, regarding my first demo account without the trailing stop, the account just above step out blown the account is just last 500 USD that saved the account. Interesting. We'll take a look at that when we go into his accounts. All right, regarding the second demo account, trail stop account, I don't have access to it now. I will update you guys ASAP. Okay, so we can expect that when we go in and take a look. All right, I got 5.56% this week with trailing stop. And let's see here. Wow, impressive. Do you have Promax EA turned off as suggested? No, I do not. By Sinri in the Telegram. Obviously, that's to everybody's own decisions. You can decide whether or not you want to follow the vendor's advice on that. I'm pretty sure the vendor left his accounts on as well, even though he did place that warning in the Telegram. So everybody has to make their own decision when it comes to those things. All right, or just let it run throughout the week. Obviously, this was 6 days ago. So yes, I did let it run since you asked this question. All right, I guess that those who have minus results could be probably due to the broker, as the EA and settings should be the same. Some brokers limit trailing stop functions provided by some EAs. All right, so definitely a lot of good information here. You know, the differences could be simply because of the broker. It could be, I know there are differences between trailing and not trailing, but demo and live. And the interesting thing is that there are some people who were trading live that had their accounts blown, and some people that were trading live that made good profits this week. So it's very interesting. And I believe these are all results from last week. So I should say there are some people that were trading live last week that made profits, and some that took heavy losses. So yeah, I think that should be said there like that. But here we can see this is 17 hours ago. So this is somebody that was trading this week that popped in with the result, and they got 5.56% this week. So I guess we're going to have to be a little patient and just wait until next week's video to see exactly how everybody did on this week's results here. All right, let us now see exactly how the vendor did. I recall last week that the vendor took heavy losses in one of his accounts. And now it is working to pick up the pieces here. As you can see, heavy losses right here. He got hit. And this is now, what is that? For the week, he's up 0.8% or $14. And this is the smaller account, the $1,800 account. All right, and this last updated February 24th. All right, so that was last Thursday. So we don't know what happened exactly this week. Hopefully this one will start updating again. We'll have to be patient and see what happens with this. So yeah, definitely a turbulent situation. It also could be that the vendor shut off this EA on February 24th. So that's another option here. Let's actually take a look in the Telegram so we can see exactly what the vendor mentioned. We can get this ready so that we can go ahead and jump into the VPS here. Give me 1 second. All right, let's take a look here. Dear clients, our news filters get their information and work based on investing.com. It has come to our attention that they are updating throughout this week. Therefore, we recommend switching off your EAs till further notice if you want the EA to not be impacted by news. However, if you do not mind the news filter not working, then you can keep your EA turned on, but we will not be held accountable. All right, so that's definitely something to keep in mind there. And that was from March the 3rd. And there was another update that they gave where they recommended that everybody turn off the EA. Let's see if we can find it here. All right, this was on February the 28th, Monday. All right. Nah, that's something else. The market seems to have stabilized, so it's safe to turn on your EAs. But when did they actually tell us to turn off the EA? All right, dear clients, first and foremost, this was on February 24th. So a lot of the results we just looked at were from last week's video. And February 24th is right here on Thursday. All right, dear clients, first and foremost, our heart goes out to Ukraine and hope these conflicts are resolved soon. We recommend you to continue keeping your EAs off till further notice. Again, this is for your own safety. So this means that they previously had given advice to turn off. We reckon, what's this, February 20th? And that was right here. So as you can see, they definitely have sent up the red flags and asked their subscribers to go ahead and turn off their EAs. I know myself, like I said, I am on a SIM account, so I did go ahead And even if I was on a live account, I most likely would have just let it run, even though they were able to put out, I think, 3 or 4 over the past 2 weeks warnings telling people to turn them off. And as I stated, I know the vendor did not follow his own advice. He did go ahead and let the EA continue to run, as we can see in this account here. So 0.80%. So they did let their EA continue to run there. And I know quite a few people that commented here also likewise continue to let their EAs run. And like I said, it's interesting because some people made profits, others made losses. It just depends on whether or not your EA had you in trades in the right direction at the time of those spikes. Anyway, let's go ahead now, take a look at the news. This is non-farm payroll week. We know that. So we can check out, we're looking for red USD news. We can see ISM manufacturing PMI, USD there. On Wednesday, Fed Chair Powell testifies. On Thursday, we had ISM services PMI. And on Friday, of course, we had non-farm payroll, 8:30 a.m., first Friday of every month. All right, let's go ahead now and jump into the VPS here. You can see no trades open going into the week. And first day of the week was the 28th. So we can find that right here. All right, looks like we started the week off with a pretty sizable loss of $63, but this $96 trade counteracted that. So this group did close in profit. We have another group here, $31 loss with 2 nice wins, 29 and 99 to counteract that loss. And then we have a string of winning trades. And obviously they're going to be different sizes here because we're trailing our stop. And as you can see, it does seem to be doing well right now. And I happen to be obviously on the side of things where I'm guessing when we got those spikes in XAU USD, my trades were going in the right direction. And these are all buy trades, as we can see here. So the current account balance is 11,930. All right. Hopefully next week, those that hit, heavy drawdown or took heavy losses this week can start to come back and make some profits again here. We'll definitely keep an eye on the comments here because, like I said, it's interesting that some took losses and some. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm just reading over some of these again. Okay, so this is definitely going to be interesting because some of you guys are using the trailing settings, as we can see here. And some of you guys are still, he's not using the trailing settings. I use Victor settings without the trailing stop. I just saw trailing stop and assumed that. So yeah, he's not using the trailing stop settings. So we have quite a few different accounts that are going to be looked at here. All right, let's go ahead and check out Kieran's account. This is a demo account. And as we can see, this week he took a heavy hit of 61%. So his account got blown this week. And I believe Kieran was using the regular account without the trailing stop. So in this case, the trailing stop looks like it saved accounts. You can see 61% loss on Kieran's account, which was not using the trailing stop setting. Let's check out Kelvin's account, also not using the trailing account setting. And his account did 3.63%. So very interesting. And this is a real account, folks. All right, let's check out Khalid's settings here using the original settings. All right, so he did 5.88%, as we can see here. And the trailing stop account did 4.77% this week. So the trailing stop account likewise did well this week. All right, so lots of interesting data this week with Promax. So it's going to be interesting going forward, keeping up with everybody's different accounts and everything here. Tintin's trailing stop live account should be noted here. Please be noted that because I have reached the limit of the number of ECN accounts provided by my broker, I need to reuse one of my accounts for my live trading with Promax EA. I've already named the portfolio March 2020 so that every one of your followers, subscribers, including you, can see the progression from the day the EA was installed on 2/28/22. All right, so that's important to keep in mind here. Let's check out this week's results. All right, so this is trailing stop live account, and you can see here 3.12%, and this month 2.92%. So the trailing stop definitely did well here. So it looks like a lot of the trailing stop accounts were able to do well this week, and the one right here for the regular account looks like that account lost heavily, and Kelvin's account here actually didn't lose heavy. It did well. So it kind of depends on, you know, where your Promax had trades, or what direction your Promax had trades in this week. So very interesting stuff. We'll keep an eye on it and continue to watch the different results that people are getting with the Promax EA. Very interesting indeed. And like I said, we also have to keep in mind that different people are going to be using different brokers, you know, and that can have a large, make a large impact on the results they're getting. I know LMFX has what's called a zero account, and that definitely makes a big difference, because when I tested initially without the zero account, my results weren't that good. But as soon as I switched over to the zero account with LMFX, all of a sudden my results started to improve and pick up. So there are lots of variables with this particular expert advisor. Unfortunately, I wish everybody could be, like I said, under the same broker with the exact same setting. But in this case, there are so many different settings. Some people can be using the vendor's account settings. Some people can be using Victor's original settings that were doing well. And some people might be using Vic's new trailing stop settings. So we definitely have to keep that in mind as we look at the results that people are getting. So it's very interesting, to say the least. All right, guys, we're at 17 minutes now, so I didn't mean to make it run that long. I am just waking up, and I try to do these videos on Saturday before I got to start getting ready for work, and I need to start doing that right now. My mind is kind of still a little bit jumbled, so I might be rambling a little bit, so I apologize for that. Like I said, I'm just waking up before I started doing this video. So with that being said, guys, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. And we'll go ahead and end it here. And if you want to test out Promax for yourself, make sure you guys use the link below to help support the channel. And I will see you guys on the next Promax weekly update review. Take care, folks.